Most people think comfort zones are about fear, about being weak, about avoiding growth, but psychology tells a very different story. Your comfort zone is not your enemy. It is your nervous system doing its job. At some point in your life, your brain learned what feels safe, not exciting, not impressive, just safe. And once the brain finds safety, it tries to protect it. That is how comfort zones are formed. A comfort zone is simply a set of familiar patterns your mind recognizes as low risk. Places, people, routines, even emotions. Familiar does not always mean healthy. It just means predictable. And predictability is deeply calming for the human brain. When life feels unpredictable, stressful, or overwhelming, the brain looks for stability. It lowers stimulation. It reduces uncertainty. It chooses what it already knows. That is not laziness. That is regulation. Your nervous system is constantly asking one question: am I safe right now? Comfort zones are the brain's way of answering yes. This is why change feels uncomfortable, even when it is good for us. New situations mean new outcomes, and new outcomes mean uncertainty. Uncertainty requires energy. Your brain has to stay alert. It has to process more information. It has to prepare for things that might go wrong. So when people say, just step out of your comfort zone, they forget that stepping out requires mental and emotional resources. Not everyone has those resources available at all times. Some people are already running on empty. Psychologically speaking, comfort zones often develop during periods of stress, pressure, or emotional overload. They become a kind of internal shelter, a place where your mind knows what to expect. This is why people often retreat into comfort zones after burnout, after heartbreak, after long periods of instability. It is not regression. It is recovery. Comfort zones also protect identity. Your brain builds a story about who you are, what you are capable of, where you belong. Stepping outside a comfort zone can feel like threatening that story, because growth does not just ask you to do new things. It asks you to become someone slightly unfamiliar, and unfamiliar versions of ourselves can feel unsafe at first. This is especially true for people who grew up needing to be careful, people who learned early on to read rooms, to avoid mistakes, to stay within limits. For them, comfort zones are not about playing small. They are about staying intact. Another important part of comfort zones is sensory regulation. Some nervous systems are more sensitive than others. Loud environments, fast social interactions, constant stimulation. These things drain energy quickly, so the brain creates environments where stimulation is controlled. Quiet routines, familiar faces, predictable schedules. That is not avoidance. That is self-awareness. Psychology does not say everyone should constantly push themselves. It says growth happens best when safety is present. Real, lasting change happens when the nervous system feels supported, not threatened. This is why forcing yourself into discomfort can backfire. If the brain feels overwhelmed, it does not learn. It shuts down. Comfort zones are not meant to trap you forever. They are meant to stabilize you until you are ready. And readiness is not about motivation. It is about capacity. When your emotional capacity increases, your comfort zone naturally expands, not because you forced it, but because safety grew. This is why gentle growth works better than sudden leaps. Small changes, familiar discomfort, enough challenge to learn, not enough to panic. Psychologically, the healthiest people are not those who live outside their comfort zones. They are the ones who can move in and out of them. They know when to rest and when to stretch. They respect their limits without letting those limits define them forever. So if you find yourself staying in your comfort zone right now, it does not mean you are failing. It means your mind is protecting something. The question is not, why am I afraid to leave? The real question is, what am I trying to keep safe? And once you understand that, growth stops feeling like a battle. It starts feeling like permission.